Nigerians express excitement that the 3-year travel ban from the UAE has been lifted. Also, 200 Kenyan police officers have left for Haiti under a United Nations-backed mission to try to quell rampant gang violence in the troubled Caribbean nation. This, of course, is according to a senior police officer who made this known on Tuesday. Hello there, welcome to the conversation. I am Adegoke-Adeyemo. Let's talk. Nigerians were excited to read that the 3-year travel ban from the UAE has been lifted. However, Mohammed Idris, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, said the resolution had conditions that were mutually beneficial. Now, part of these conditions include obtaining a document verification number, that's a DVN. According to the DVN Hub, the process is a specialized service designed to authenticate and verify documentation essential for Nigerians. And of course, this particular document has been put, to contestation, even though, there are discussions around it. Now, the DVN cost a non-refundable 640,000 naira, excluding VAT for each application. This does not include the visa fee. In addition to obtaining a UAE visa, Nigerians are required to provide proof of a 6-month bank statement with a minimum balance of $10,000. Well, joining me to discuss this is Adegoke-Adeyemo Oluwaseyi. He's an aviation expert from Kwara State. And also I have Goody is an aviation researcher joining from Abuja. Gentlemen, joining both virtually. Thank you for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you. And
all right,
nice to be here.
Great. Let me start with you, Goody. I mean, for many Nigerians, there seems to be excitement, but this comes with a bit of mixed feelings. I'd like to know your immediate reaction to the lifting of the ban.
I'm not excited.
Why?
Well, as a people, as a nation, we brought this shame to ourselves because of our, unacceptable conduct. It reminds me of my first visit to the UAE some good number of years back, and how respected I and my wife, by the way, because both of us went on that trip. The kind of respect that we received from the officials of the UAE at the airport, all the smiles, all the recommendations about the good hotels that we could go to and stuff. And of course, I can tell you that I didn't have more than $4,000 in my pocket that would take care of everything, including all the 2-week stay and all whatever. And we were quite happy. Enjoyed ourselves and did some shopping and came home. Made some good friends, including a military general in there. That Nigeria does not seem to exist anymore. That Nigerian that should earn some respect, it doesn't seem to be existing anymore, and that's what making me sad. For the UAE, as a nation and as a people, I do not hold them responsible for what's going on and all these hard conditions that they have given to us. But I will always remind them, because a whole lot of people don't know this piece of history, which is the last thing I want to say for this intro before we continue, that the very first airplane they flew as a nation, courtesy of Nigeria Airways, was a 737 Boeing that we gave to them free of charge. And I dare them to deny it. That's a product of my research work. And here we are today. While Emirates is one of the largest, most successful airlines in the world, Nigeria Airways is dead and buried. It's a shame. And we have to every one of us must take responsibility for this mess we've got on our hands. let me allow my my colleague on the
All
virtual
right, that's
meeting
of
to
course
speak.
Mr. Adegoke. Mr. Adegoke, your
Adegoke.
immediate reaction to this news on the lifting of the ban to the UAE, travel ban, that
Okay,
is.
so at this time in our history, we're at the time where we're rebuilding, where we're making sure that we do things better, and we are doing it now. And in my opinion, we have another opportunity. Like my colleague in Abuja said, the things that have happened to us, we're responsible for it, as it were. But we have an opportunity to repair that. One, as a government, one of the things they held against us was the fact that they weren't able to repatriate, their earnings there. I mean, how would you allow people to work or do business in your country, and you don't make provision for how they would return the earnings back to their home country? That I believe we're ready to correct, and we will correct. It's also important that we also recognize the fact that a couple of us Nigerians misbehave in that country. And it is important, maybe through this form that we're going to be filling, we would then have people who truly want to go do business there. Because I'm one of those who believe that the more countries we're able to do business with, the better for us. We want to raise our profile and all of that. We then need to do business with other people in the world. And so we have another opportunity to continue to do business with, our brothers and sisters in the UAE. I know a lot of Nigerians that have very thriving business in the UAE. They're doing very well. And there can be other Nigerians who also can do business there and repatriate money back home. So I'm hoping that we'll be more responsible in the way we handle this reconnection, as it were, and at the end of the day, we would not have thought to be booted out like we were booted out 2 years ago. So that would be my immediate reaction to that.
All right, I'm still going to stay with you, Mr. Oluwaseyi, on this one. Now, let's look at the conditions, for travel, according to Nigeria's Minister of Information. Now, there's of course, the DVN, which of course cost a non-refundable 640,000 naira, excluding the VAT for each application. And of course, another condition of about $10,000 minimum balance and a proof of a 6-month bank statement, with a minimum balance of 10,000 US dollars. But a news platform actually did reach out to the UAE. That's the UAE's Ministry of Economy and Tourism. The news platform actually did reach out to confirm particularly the issue of the DVN and the 10,000 US dollars deposit. And the department said that the DV Hub website is not affiliated with the UAE government. And went further to say, according to them, that you will need a personal photo and a copy of your passport, which must not have less than 6 months validity, according to that particular ministry. Went further to say a tourist visa costs about 200 to 300 dirhams. That's 60 to 90,000 naira, depending on your stay, and it goes on. So, I mean, right now, maybe further research needs to be done. But I would like you to speak particularly, if at all, these conditions, as stated by the Nigerian government, is anything to go by. What do you make of them? Is it fair?
Okay, I mean, I would not want to say whether it's fair or not, because that is a very, very difficult remark to make. I would not say whether it's fair or not. I just want to say that this is a product of misbehavior we have had in the past, and we need to brace up to it. The truth of the matter is, these conditions obviously would ensure that a lot of people are unable to go to Dubai. If you ask me, in the past 2 years that we have not gone, a lot of Nigerians have not died. But those who have business to do there, and those business will be profitable to them, and they're able to justify their going, would naturally take advantage of this opening. And those people can afford. And if you ask me, I would say to you, those people are not likely to go there and disgrace us. They probably would be able to live there and their business in a way that would not paint us in the black or red that we have continued to paint ourselves over the years. As a person, I would rather this thing happen to us. We didn't have to go through all this screening, this expectation of going to look for $10,000 before you travel to Dubai. I think it's a shame. I think it's not something that ought to have happened to us. But I like to dwell on the fact that it's a new opportunity. I'm hoping that as a people and government, we will be able to manage this better than we did before, so that such will not be treated or be allowed to be treated the way we're being treated right now. Because I think it's really not. If you are, in those days, Dubai was probably the place everyone would go. You don't have to have a headache because you would then get your visa very easily. And like my colleague in Abuja said, when you get to Dubai, you're treated like king, because we're kings in Nigeria. We're probably the only nation that spend like we spend. We are probably the best country anyone should want to do business with, particularly with holidaying, because Nigerians just like to enjoy themselves. If you recall, immediately after COVID, when the opening, was given, most Nigerians, took to Dubai and had a great time, Christmas there, and we spend a lot of money like we usually do in the countries we go. So it's unfortunate that as blessed as we are as a people, we end up being rubbished and being painted in the color we're being painted. So my hope is that we'll manage this.
All right. Now, still talking about the controversy, I mean, the news platform did say that when they asked about the $10,000 balance, the directorate actually did say, that's the UAE directorate, actually did say that we are not aware of such requirements. And when they reached out to Nigeria's Foreign Ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they actually said that clarification would be sought from the country's office, ministry office in the Middle East. But I just thought to put that out there. Now, back to it. Let me go to you, Goody. Now, for $10,000, for instance, having it in your bank account for 6 months is part of the condition. If you had to put it at, say, maybe peg it at 1,500 naira to 500 naira to $1, that's about $15 million in your account for at least 6 months. And this other condition of the, sorry, naira, 50 million naira, in your account for 6 months. And we know the current situation of the country anyway. For you, Goody, would you say these conditions, is fair, given the fact that, the build up to what happened to the banning, or it's a situation whereby these individuals are just trying to use a sledgehammer to kill a fly?
Exactly the way Adegoke started. I'm going to say to you, I am not going to discuss the fairness or unfairness of the decision. I am going to, as a Nigerian who lives in Nigeria, take responsibility, as I expect everybody, starting from Mr. President to the least man or woman in this country, take responsibility for how far we have misbehaved as a people and as a nation, and then look inwards. The message I get from all these conditions put out there is, we have identified, I am now on quote, saying that the message is, the people saying to us, and I'm talking about UAE, saying to us, we have identified a few mega rich ones amongst you. We love to put up with. We don't want you to continue to rob us with this stench of poverty. We are happy and satisfied with the big ones that have the dollars in hundreds of millions and billions in place. We are quite satisfied and happy with those. For those of you who are still wallowing in poverty, please stay back in your nation to see if you can build your nation and make it more respectable. And then we can open our doors and let you in. The message is very clear. very, very clear, my dear, friend. It's just to say, stay back in Nigeria.
But is
Fix
it
your nation.
fair that they treat Nigerians like this? Yes, we know that
it can't be fair. We have
some people who might, of course, have misrepresented the nation. But again, we have some Nigerians that are contributing immensely to the economy. Economies like the UAE, economies like the United Kingdom, economies like even the US, and we have some Nigerians that are doing fantastically well. And there may be just a few that seem to sort of tint the oil. Is it fair that Nigerians have to go through all of this rigor just to travel?
It can't be fair. From what I told you in the first place, we were a big brother, or call it, since the English language would want a female gender for a nation, we were the big sister nation that saw them through their hard days and the times they had very hard time. And I want to repeat, the very first private airplane flown by those two brothers, one of them is late now, may his soul rest in peace, who had the vision for the great nation they built out of the UAE. The very first airplane they flew, a Boeing 737, was given to them free of charge, courtesy of Nigeria Airways. Today, Nigeria Airways is dead and buried. Today, and then later on, by the way, we gave them 2 more, making total of 3. Carry out your investigation as a journalist and confirm this. And those 3 airplanes constituted what metamorphosed into the awesome airline today known as the Emirates. And our own Nigeria Airways, the big brother, the big sister who gave all those, or had all those magnanimity, is dead and buried. It's simply, it makes me as a Nigerian feel extremely irresponsible. If we don't accept this hard fact as a people, then we're not ready to change, and we're not ready to. I'm not going to be discussing whether it's fair or not. The people have painstakingly built a mega nation out of a desert. You needed to know where they came from and how they did the magic of having green leaves off a dry land, total desert, and built that awesome nation they have there right now. So it's a challenge. I feel challenged as a Nigerian. My thoughts are not about what they are doing to us and how fair or unfair. My thought is that we brought this on ourselves and we must take full responsibility. And if we're ashamed, we begin to change. Every individual. I often see people do certain things, even in traffic, or doing all sorts of silly and irresponsible things. And I stop by them, especially those of them in very expensive cars, wind down and say to them, what you've just done, this thing you have just dumped on the roadside, was it President Tinubu that did it? Can you for once be ashamed of yourself for doing such a thing? Is President Tinubu going to be leaving the villa to come and educate you that a man at your level should not be doing things like this? Every Nigerian, big, small, medium, must have a change of heart and be more patriotic and do the right things at all times. And then see us begin to rebuild. We have all the resources to be one of the wealthiest nations in the world. The resources are still there up until today. We only need to kill corruption, kill acts of irresponsibility, and kill all this desire for luxury. We are no more as rich as we used to be. So let's be real. If you can't afford to go to Dubai, stay back home. You don't need to go. Those that can afford to go already know themselves, and they will continue to go and continue to do whatever they do there and come back. I can't see myself going to spend a non-refundable 668,000 naira just to get a piece of number that identifies that I am real and genuine. I will never do it, no matter how much billions I have in my account. I won't do it. So if any Nigerian so feels, then stay back home and let's build our nation. Someday they will come begging us to return and be once again the sister nation.
All right, Mr. Ike, let me leave you for a moment. Let me move to Mr. Adeyemo on this one. Would you be willing to spend that amount to travel?
No, definitely not. I mean, like you said, so if you notice the way I'm dressed, I'm a very, very Afrocentric Nigerian who believes that we can build continents and country. There's a lot of work to be done, and this is the time to build. And I'm probably one of those who are the forefront of doing that. As I speak to you, I'm in Ilorin. I live in Lagos, but I'm here for an event, you know, with colleagues to find ways of building our nation. But definitely, that definitely is not my priority. It's not time to spend such money. Not at this time. Even if I have it, I think it will be unfair on my family, my immediate and extended family, to spend such money just because I want to go to Dubai. There's a lot of places I've not seen in Nigeria that I want to see, and I've seen a lot of places that I want to go back to. So there's a lot to do here. I'm just saying that another opportunity for business, those who are going to do business, I hope those who will be able to go do what is right, so that, because for me, I don't think it's just for Dubai. I see this as mirroring the way the rest of the world see us. And so Dubai would do it, Ghana, Togo, any country would do it to us and treat us the way they like because they see us that way. And we're too big and too as a people to continue to allow ourselves to be treated like this. So I agree with Mr. I'm sorry, I didn't get his name very well. I think it's Ike.
Mr. Ike.
I agree.
Oh, but yeah, Mr. Ike.
Mr. Ike. I agree with him completely that we need to take responsibility, and it is time to build our nation and do the right thing, so that not just Dubai, any other country will not treat us the way we're being treated right now.
But I'm still going to stay with you, Mr. Adeyemo, on it. I mean, the stereotypical, will I say, nature, you know, many countries have about Nigerians. I mean, it's really sad because I've had stories of people who, you know, at the point of entry, once they see the passport, it's a Nigerian, they tell you step aside, and then, you know, even if you are there for legit business, you know, they dehumanize you, right? Yeah. As much as we know that there are some Nigerians that might not be doing the right thing, you know, outside the nation, is that the way to go? Is there anything we can do as a nation aside the, oh, let's change our character, let's change our behavior? Are there routes, you know, maybe legal routes the country can explore to ensure that an average Nigerian is not stereotyped and dehumanized, you know, when visiting a country?
Okay, first of all, without sounding immodest, I'm one of those Nigerians, when they see me and treat me like that, they eventually apologize because of the way I will behave when they engage with me. So it is upon us. The way you'll be treated is based on how you treat other people. Now, I think this form thing is a very good way to do for Nigerians. And I think rather than just allow the Dubai people to handle it, I think our government to also develop a form like that to ensure that those who live here are people who truly have legitimate reason to, and they would not go outside and disgrace us. Let us start to profile ourselves. Let us do the homework. Let us do everything we need to do, clean our house, so that outsiders don't have to do that for us. Because you see, if you wait for outsiders to tell you that your mouth is smelly, then you will consider it an insult. You can do that fact check yourself, and make sure that when you're going out to engage with other people, everything you need to do to make sure you're presentable and one respected, you do. You know, so you don't, they say it all the time, but I think we don't take it seriously. Respect begets respect. Respect other people, respect yourself, you'll be respected. If you don't respect yourself, because I think Nigerians sometimes have this sense of entitlement. They just believe that because we're Nigerians, everybody should like us, everybody should treat us well. It doesn't work that way. Some people are responsible, like Mr. Ike said. They did a lot of work to build their country from ground zero to where it is right now. I think they owe themselves and their people protect it and don't allow anybody, whether Nigerians or any other people or any other person from anywhere in the world, to come and destroy the work they've done. You know, so we should not expect. I mean, we say this all the time. Oh, we help this country, we help that country. So what? Because you help me does not mean you come and destroy what I've now done. If you help me, I thank you for helping me. But now that I have built this, please, can you help me manage this better? So I think bulk of this work is with Nigerians. Let's do what we have to do, because look, again, I don't want to sound modest. I don't know of any country I've been to and I've been treated badly, because at the end of the day, I behave myself. I'm very cautious, respect other people, because it is only when I respect them that they will respect me. And when I see Nigerians who go out there, you know, expecting that people will respect them, they're disrespecting other people. And so those are very important truths we need to tell ourselves, so that when we go out, we'll be treated better. Look, we have everything that it takes to sit at the high table of Committee of Nations at any time, anywhere in the world. We have all that it takes. We're intelligent, we're good people, we have a good culture. But unfortunately, at some point in time in our life, we've been, you know, deviating from what our values really were. And where we are right now, truth be told, is not the place we ought to be. And it's time to look inwards, do the right thing, and you will start to see reaction, because it's that way. Yeah, people will start to react better than they are doing right now.
Let me move to Mr. Ike on this. The same question.
Yes.
Is it possible? Are there other avenues besides, you know, the one-on-one sensitization? Can the government explore technologies such as data on individuals to say, you know what, this person has a track record of being, you know, an upstanding citizen. You don't need to be stereotypical in handling such an individual. Are there legal avenues or legal routes that the government can explore to clean up that image of Nigerians, you know, that some countries might just, you know, have very negative, you know, perception about?
Dabo, did you hear your name now?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hello, Dabo.
I'm with you. I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Because you were breaking on my end. Right. We have to start from within, right here. Let me share one quick experience on Ahmadu Bello Way, where I usually go for morning walk. I try to do 6 kilometers of work every morning and every other day, you know, to keep fit and healthy. And the last one I did on Monday. I didn't find space on the walk path to put my feet. Every 2 to 3 yards that I walked, I saw cow dungs right on the walk path, or rather the pathway for, you know, for pedestrians. And this is a capital city built from the scratch, meant to be the pride of the nation. Every nook and cranny of this city right now are filled with cows crisscrossing the road, cow dungs all over the places. And you expect that visitors from a place like UAE will come see all this and still respect you as a big brother or a big sister, as the case may be? Is that what you expect? We have brought ourselves flat on the ground, on the floor, and that's where we are all lying, rolling and gathering debts, you know, and we are stinking. If we don't accept it and look inwards and begin to do all the hard work, including enforcement of laws, and ensuring that people are behaving like human beings, we will never end this respect that we're talking about and we're looking for. No one is respecting us in the world anymore. This is the hard truth, that boy. You better believe it and take it. As an individual, I've accepted it and I've taken it, and I'm hoping that someday some other people who are right there in the corridors of power will accept it and then begin to look inwards and begin to get Nigerians understand that we have laws. Our laws have teeth. can bite, are willing to bite, and will bite when they catch you doing the wrong thing. If that signal doesn't go out for all and sundry, everyone, no matter who you are, no matter your tribe, no matter your religion, no matter who you are, this is the law, and it must be obeyed. If we don't get that done, the world will continue to disrespect us until we virtually fizzle away as if this country never existed. I am sad, very sad, because our new Nigeria, listen to this. In 1981, when my immediate elder brother, who's spending his 56th year in the U.S., I'm a U.S. citizen right now, was wedding, I paid 60 kobo to buy $1. That's what I paid, 60 kobo to buy $1. And what was more, on arrival in the U.S., no one asked me a question why I was there. As soon as they saw my green passport, they smiled at me, took it, stamped for me, and asked me to enjoy my stay. And I walked past. Guess what? Sometime early 2000, I think it was 2003 or thereabout. I visited yet again. Guess what? I answered all sorts of questions. The immigration official that attended to me virtually turned me upside down in asking questions, as if that was not enough. As he let me through, and I was now heading for the exit gate. A little boy that was younger than my son at the time, looked very young, I don't know whether he was immigration or custom official, said to me, hey. And I ignored him. He was coming right behind me and using the word hey, as if he was talking to a cow or a goat or a sheep, And I just ignored him. I walked on. And then some senior officers who were much older, about 6 or 7 of them, in a semicircle with their arms folded, looking on, said to me, hello, sir. They were more respectful than the little boy who was a very young officer who was saying, hey, because I had a green passport and I was clearly a Nigerian before him. Until he said, an officer behind you needs your attention. And I said to them, my name is not hey. You should teach him how to call, somebody's attention with some respect. And they apologized. I give that to the senior officers, but they still insisted that I should go and answer him. And guess what he did? He got me, put my suitcase that had been scanned and released to me, put it up there to be opened up and physically searched. What aided me all those? Nigerian factor. I spent 1.5 hours more with him, turning my suitcase upside down, found nothing incriminating, found nothing wrong, but he couldn't lock back that box. I didn't help him. I stood there with him until those senior officers realized that he was having difficulty closing back that suitcase, and the 2 of them walked up to him and helped him to repack my suitcase and lock it up properly before I took it. I was not in a hurry anymore. And I took it and put back on the trolley. So I am just painting this picture for you to understand. There was 81 when I paid 60 kobo for $1 and got into the US, and nobody asked me a question and just stamped and let me in respectfully. And then in 2003 or thereabout, I got disrespected and of course, held up. My time wasted by a little boy as young as my son. And so that is what we've done to ourselves as a nation. I'll use this opportunity to urge Mr. President, it's time to look inwards and rebuild. We still have materials here. We still have a whole lot of responsible people here that can build, this nation. Yes, please.
Thank you so much for, of course, that description. But we're pressed for time. Mr. Adeyemo, your final thoughts.
Hello.
Sorry, what did
30
you say?
seconds.
What did you say?
Sorry.
Your final thoughts, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, fine. Let me just seize this opportunity to talk about the fact that those who went for World Cup, Qatar did a profiling of them. When they got to the airport, Qatar, there was no human being. It was machines that attended to them. I'm hoping that we can flip this around. We don't necessarily have to get to that level. What I'm just saying is, let us do a lot of profiling before we go out there, so that whatever they do out there, we'll be disappointed because we'll have done all the cleaning before we go outside. You know, like I said, you just go in when those who went, Nigerians who went for World Cup, and nobody is talking to you because everything had been done online, and they were sure that who was coming deserved to enter that country. So before we go out, let's do that on ourselves. And I hope that will give us, a better picture as we go out of this nation to other countries, because we must travel anyway.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Deeply appreciate your time. That's Mr. Oluwaseyi Adegoke-Adeyemo. Is an aviation expert from Kwara State. And also Goody, Mr. Goody Ike, that's an aviation researcher from Abuja. Thank you once again, gentlemen.